Okay, guys, I thought we would kind of recap a video I did last year, a model railroad discussion video, where we talked about MTH closing its doors and Mike Wolf retiring. Um, and I also kind of gave my thoughts on who would make a good fit for these guys for their tooling. And I thought we would kind of do a retake on that video since a lot of news has dropped between the time I made that video to where we're at right now. By the way, if you haven't checked that video out, I suggest you go check it out, give it a watch. Might be kind of interested to see what you guys think of it. So, but anyway, we'll talk about the here and now. Of course, if you've been living under a rock recently and haven't heard what's going on, uh, boy, a lot has happened in the first 3 months, almost 3 months now, 2021. We're at, what is it, March 20, where's my calendar at? March 22nd, I believe, as I'm filming this. So almost 3 months into 2021. And boy, there's been a lot of huge stuff, once again, surrounding MTH. We started the year off with a bang with Scale Trains announcing their acquisition of the HO and S scale tooling that MTH had, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their S scale tooling that MTH actually acquired from S Helper Service was what I heard on some other channels. So if I get that wrong, please correct me on that. But I believe the former MTH S scale MTH tooling that Scale Trains got is actually the former S Helper Service tooling, at least from the information I understand from other YouTubers out there. So anyway, let's kind of do a rehash of that video I did about a year ago. Not quite a year ago, about 10 months ago, something like that, 8 or 10 months ago. But as I said before, we started the year off with a bang with Scale Trains getting the HO and S scale tooling. And then just a few days ago, we had another bombshell report with Atlas getting select, that we know of, tooling from MTH's O scale Premier line, um, which I believe is going to include most of their diesel locomotives, especially their modern diesel locomotives, the ES44 AC and DC, the SD70 ACE, the SD70M-2, the C44-9. I believe they had a Dash 8 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Several SD and GP units, uh, the SD40 and I believe SD40-2 and the GP 40-2 and GB 38-2. I'm not as familiar with O scale, so I don't really know what MTH had as far as their lineup of O scale, but I believe those particular models. I know, I know for a fact the SD40-2, the Dash 9, and the GEVOs were in MTH's lineup because I've seen those engines on other channels. So, anyway, I just thought we would revisit that. Um, kind of give you guys a little recap in case you haven't been hearing the news uh, or might have been living under a rock or something. Of course, by far, most everybody already knows what went down with MTH, but some rather interesting follow up news to that. We may not be quite saying goodbye to MTH after all. There is rumors floating around that whether it's a group affiliated with MTH, um, or let me kind of rephrase that, a group that maybe I want to say affiliated with Mike Wolf or something like that. I don't really know all the details behind that. But anyway, they have connections with MTH. We'll just say that. They may take over what is left of the Premier Line steam tooling. Again, that's just stuff that I'm hearing, and other people's apparently hearing as well. Um, that could be really interesting to see, kind of a scaled down version of MTH, at least pretty much consisting of only their steam locomotives, um, as concerned, continuing on. So MTH would actually continue on in some form, which is pretty darn interesting news if that is the case. But here's other rumblings that I keep hearing, and that is surrounding Menards. Of course, a lot of you also have heard that, probably have heard that rumor as well, that Menards is may be looking to acquire the Rail King tooling. Again, I'm not an O scaler. I have very little O scale stuff, so my knowledge is extremely limited, and I'm pretty much just going by what other people have already reported. But I thought I would kind of give at least my limited thoughts of what may or may not happen. Now, as I mentioned before, we already have scale trains and Atlas getting a piece of the MTH pie. So let's kind of explore who might, assuming this other news about the group affiliated with MTH doesn't take over what's left and continue the company on as MTH. So let's kind of take a look at some other manufacturers that might be in play here, at least the ones that are left. So we can already take out scale trains and Atlas, at least for the time being. So we'll set them off to the side. The Premier Line steam locomotives. Here's how I'm going to look at this. I'm going to kind of focus this on companies that really don't have a presence in O scale, at least that are major players in the HO and N scale market, but really don't have a presence in O scale, or at least very limited presence. So let's kind of take a look at Athearn. They are kind of the biggest, I believe, of the companies that's left that could potentially acquire whatever's left of MTH. Now, we're not saying this is going to happen. These are just strictly my opinions. So, I'm not trying to get out there and get people saying, Randall went on YouTube and said this is definitely going to happen and all that. So no, we're not going down that road. But these are just my opinions of where we might need to keep our eyes on. Let's just call it that. I think Athearn would have a pretty golden opportunity to jump head first in the O scale market if things change and they acquire. They were to try to take a shot at acquiring the MTH O scale brand. Not sure that any of this is likely. But it would be kind of interesting to kind of keep an eye out, because we've had some surprises here, because even though I did in my first video mention scale trains and Atlas as good fits for MTH, I really didn't think they would actually be the ones to actually acquire at least portions. I certainly didn't think that both of them would end up with portions of MTH. I really thought somebody would just buy them out lock, stock, and barrel and be done with it. But boy, landscape, it really has changed in a couple of months. So anyway, taking a look at Athearn, I think they would make a good fit for the MTH O scale tooling. I'm going to throw some different companies in here too. Of course, I also mentioned Bachmann as a possible fit. There's been some people are kind of on the fence about Bachmann getting their tooling. I personally think it would actually benefit at least their O scale department quite a bit acquiring the MTH tooling. But also, I'm going to throw in some other names that aren't in the O scale market at all. I've already mentioned Athearn. Here's a couple others: Intermountain, Bowser. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some others here that Walters. That's another one. Let's see. We got Walters, Bowser, MTH. Those are the three big players that Kato, that's another one. They could potentially jump into that mix to at least make an attempt to acquire the tooling. We're not saying any of this is going to happen. These are just we're just kind of floating these ideas out here. I don't know if you guys watch the Steam Kings channel. He did a lot, or Drew at Nordell MRRC, I think is the name of his channel. I'll have to look that up, make sure that's right. But anyway, him and Clint, the Steam King, and a couple other guys did a live stream the other day. And just for kicks and giggles, I kind of threw a little conspiracy theory out there. One of my, well, a conspiracy theory is too strong a word, but I kind of threw a little gag what if, since they were bringing up Menards getting the MTH Rail King tooling, possibly. I kind of put down, wouldn't it be hilarious if Lowe's or Home Depot made a try for the Premier line tooling? That would actually be very hilarious and actually very epic if that ever did happen. Could you imagine a Home Depot or a Lowe's commercial with a a former MTH Premier Line steam locomotive as part of its commercial? Yeah, that would put Mahler Railroading right back in the spotlight real quick, because that's a pretty big presence right there. Of course, we all know that 99.9999% that'll never happen, but as they say, as the old saying goes, you're saying there's a chance. So, but anyway, I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, back to the serious discussion. I think a lot of these other model train manufacturers, they do have an opportunity. Whether or not they think that it's in their best business interest to do it, that's a whole other thing. That's for them to decide. But I just kind of wanted to throw my quick little thoughts out there, since all this news is broke recently, with the scale trains and Atlas each getting a piece of the MTH pie. But I also want to hear what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm missing a company that could make a try for the rest of MTH as far as we're concerned. And also, don't forget, they also have their G scale tooling. That's something a lot of people have not talked a lot about. I do know. I have heard them mention that on a couple of other shows, but other than that, I really haven't heard much about MTH's G scale stuff. So I'm probably not the best qualified person to talk about that. That may be a better topic for Sean over Dakman Productions and those guys to go on that. But anyway, like I said, I just want to throw my little topics out there, kind of reignite the discussion, and see what you guys think about what might be the future, where the future for MTH lies as we possibly enter the final chapter of that company. Or could we? Again, there is a possibility MTH may actually continue as a primarily downsized O-scale Premier Line steam locomotive company. That could be really interesting. That could be something to really watch for the O-scalers out there. So anyway, just wanted to throw my thoughts out there, and like I said, leave a comment below, and we'll get this discussion started. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And like I said, if you haven't checked out the first video I did, the Goodbye MTH video I did last summer now, give that video a watch, and then come back and we'll discuss on this some more. So anyway, that's kind of all I got, and we'll have some more stuff coming along on this channel here. We'll have some more quickie reviews. We got a Scale Trains Rivet Counter ES44C4 that'll be coming, I hope, in a few days. So that'll be something for you guys to look forward to. And yeah, we're going to have some fun stuff coming this summer. Of course, we got the 100 subscriber contest coming up in a few months, so that'll be something to look forward to. I've still got to get the HO and N scale prizes for that one, so we'll get them cranking before too long. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, all.